Eli Apple sucks. And if you agree, you should go type LOL down in the comment section. That's not even Photoshop. That is Eli Apple right there. Go type LOL down in the chat because he's a New Orleans hater. Saints fans, welcome into Saints Now. I'm Will Scott. We'll be joined by producer Trace Gerard here shortly, talking about this Saints-Bengals preview. Huge game in NFL Week 6. We're going to get you guys an injury report, also keys to victory in today's show. But first, we begin with the news we learned yesterday. And it's so funny because in yesterday's show, I told Trace, the Saints got to sign Jordan Howard, and guess what happened? They signed Jordan Howard, according to Nick Underhill. He confirmed it to the practice squad. Howard appeared in 7 games for Philadelphia last season and averaged 4.7 yards per attempt on 86 carries. A need there after losing Latavius Murray and Tony Jones Jr. So, Jordan Howard, the newest member of this Saints practice squad. Ian Rappaport also got this. Former Saints running back Jake Funk, that's a real name, who cleared waivers today, is signing with the Saints practice squad. Source said, had several offers, chose this opportunity. So 2 running backs out, Tony Jones Jr. and Murray, 2 running backs in, Funk and Howard, as we will now get into the Saints injury report for this week against the Bengals. We're recording this on Thursday, so this is Wednesday's injury report. Deontay Hardy did not participate. Neither did Jarvis Landry, Michael Thomas, Marshon Lattimore, Peyton Turner, Chris Olave, Calvin Throckmorton, and then Ryan Ramczyk was a limited participant. So several guys out of practice this week for the Saints. Nick Underhill did provide us with some good news, though. Chris Olave is in the 3rd stage of the concussion protocol and hasn't experienced any additional symptoms, I'm told. The 3rd stage is football-specific exercise, non-contact training drills, and full activity are next if he has no further symptoms. So let's take a look here at the 5-step NFL concussion protocol. Rest and recovery is step number 1. Aerobic activity, step number 2. So it's just kind of light training. Then step 3 is finally when we're going to see a player back on a football field doing a specific football-specific exercise. Step 4, non-contact training drills. So that's, again, a limited participant in practice. Step 5 is when you can return to full football activity. Once you clear all 5 of those, you can get back to playing in football games. As we continue on here with the Saints injury report, Paulson Adebo is limited, as well as J.T. Gray, Taysom Hill, Marcus May, Malcolm Roach, and Jameis Winston limited this week. He is back practicing, which I know a lot of y'all are going to have mixed feelings about in terms of the conversation of either starting him or Dalton for Sunday. Taking a look now at Dalton's former team, Cincinnati, their injury report. La'el Collins did not participate, neither did Tee Higgins. Devin Asai, an ankle injury, he was limited, as well as Hayden Hurst and Samaje Perine with an abdomen limited as well. So the Bengals report, not quite as lengthy as the Saints injury report. Who do you got in this one? Type NO for New Orleans or type CIN for the Bengals down in the comment section. Go down. Let me know who you got in this big game on Sunday. This is a crime that this is not a primetime game. Should be a primetime game on Sunday. Instead, it's a noon kickoff. I would say the first key here, feed Taysom Hill early and often. We saw what he did last week, scoring 3 touchdowns. Get him involved and get him involved early. Here is what he did last week. 9 carries, 112 yards, 3 touchdowns. He was fantastic. He's shutting up the haters. I really like Taysom Hill. He was limited at practice this week, but he should be good to go on Sunday against Cincinnati. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? And Taysom Hill has continued to get more involved in this offense and is making a positive impact on this offense. In fact, the Saints offense is at its best when this guy is on the football field. He is an athlete. He can play every position. I love Taysom Hill, man. Again, he's underpaid, contrary to what the Twitter GMs will tell you. Guys, thanks for 9,000 subscribers. We really appreciate your support of the channel and your support of Chat Sports. Sub for Saints Dubs. That's what we love to say here. It's Saints Now by Chat Sports. And if we get 100 subs on this video, Saints are guaranteed to win. I can just about promise you that. Go down, subscribe to the channel today. Number 2, win in the trenches, right? The offensive line, the defensive line, they got to step up in this one. And when you look at the Bengals offensive line, they're not very good, right? He's got plenty of talent around him, so you can't let him get hot. Get to Joe Burrow early. The Bengals offensive line, even though they invested in the offensive line this offseason, has not been good. Lyle Collins, questionable for Sunday. He did not practice yesterday, so bring all kinds of pressure on Joe Burrow because the Dolphins were not able to do that last week. The week prior to last week, Joe Burrow beat Miami. When you look at the 3 games where the Bengals have lost, Joe Burrow has been pressured a lot in those games. Put some pressure on Joe Cool. You also have to protect Andy Dalton, right? The offensive line's given up 14 sacks this season. Andy's your backup, right? You do not want a third-string quarterback coming in the game here. Protect Andy Dalton. The Saints' offensive line, continues to struggle a little bit. Get physical, get mean, play Saints football. That's what the Saints have done throughout the years. I want to see the Saints be physical and be mean on Sunday against a pretty good Cincinnati team. Guys, spam Houdat to keep the good vibes rolling. Whoever comments the most will get a shout-out on the next show. I want to shout-out Val Medine and James Long appreciate them chiming in here. Their favorite running backs of all time, Deuce McAllister, Pierre Thomas. Appreciate all of you guys chiming in there. My favorite was Reggie Bush, so shout-out to Val and James Long. Number 3, take care of the football, right? Do not give up the deep ball. You gotta, number 1, protect football if you're Andy Dalton. Number 2, can't give up the deep ball because you got these 2 guys returning to the Superdome. And the last time they were in the Superdome, they capped off the greatest season we have ever seen from a college football team. That national championship game in January of 2020 where Joe Burrow and Ja'Marr Chase went off against Clemson. I'm a biased LSU fan, but that is the greatest college football team of all time. That was the last time they were in the Dome and playing in the state of Louisiana. Here's what Chase has done thus far this season. 2 touchdowns, 343 yards, 32 receptions. Meanwhile, the Saints defense ranks 12th in passing yards per game and 24th in yards per completion. They got to contain Joe Burrow, and they got to contain Ja'Marr Chase. I'm really worried about those matchups for Sunday. But if you're not worried, you should go pound the Saints. Chatsports.com/bet. Promo code CHAT125 to pick up a 125% deposit bonus. That means if you put $100 in, you're going to get 125 additional cash bet with. Great deal. Go and take advantage. Chatsports.com/bet. The Bengals, a 2-point favorite here. Vegas thinks the Saints are going to lose. If you think Vegas is wrong, go and take the Saints money line. Go and take the Saints +2. And if you think the Saints offense is going to roll, take the over as well. That total is way too low to me. I'm going to take the over in this game. Go bet on it. Chatsports.com/bet. Promo code CHAT125. Getting into my next key here. Andy Dalton has got to play well, right? And I think you got to play the healthy quarterback here. Yes, Jameis is limited in practice this week. He's back at practice. He's still not 100%. Play Andy Dalton. We've seen this offense have a little bit of success with Andy Dalton at QB. I like Dalton. I like the idea of starting Dalton on Sunday, I should say. Saints do not need a great game from Dalton. They don't need him to go out there and throw for 350 yards. Just another good game. A game that does not feature any mistakes. A game that features him letting his weapons do their thing. But I believe in Andy Dalton. Here's what he did against Seattle. 16 of 24, 187 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Geno Smith went off in that game. Andy Dalton did not put up the same numbers, but the Saints still got the job done and still put 35 plus points on the scoreboard. Who should start on Sunday? Andy Dalton or Jameis Winston? Type AD for the Red Rifle or type JW for Jameis Winston down in the comment section. Go down, chime in. It is the pinned comment on today's video, so when that break comes, go down, chime in. I'm going to say Andy Dalton, type in AD. Number 5 key here. Put the ball in Alvin Kamara's hands. Get this guy involved. I want to see him get a lot of touches, take some pressure off of Dalton. That is what he did against Seattle. Ran for over 100 yards, 91 receiving yards. Nearly, I should say, I got to do quick math here. Yes, was that, no, nearly 200 yards, right? 200 yards, there we go. I'm so bad at math. 200 yards last week for Alvin Kamara, 23 carries for 103 or 6 rushes for 91 yards. So he keeps finding his groove. Let him do his thing. He's coming into this game with some momentum. I would see Alvin Kamara have another big game because, again, that takes pressure off the backup quarterback, Andy Dalton. Go down, predict the score in the comments section. Who's going to win the game? By how much? What's the score going to be? Saints, Bengals. Tell me who you got down in the comments section. I'm sorry, Saints fans. I think the Bengals are going to win this game. I'm taking Cincinnati 31-27. I think it's going to be a very close game. Maybe Andy Dalton in the end going to have a game-winning drive. Get the Saints a dub.